Firstly, guys, fantastic to see so many people here today. Like, since we started this program, probably about 4 months ago now, like we've been building the group up and starting to build the sessions, get some fantastic guest speakers in, and it's really nice to see that core group being formed now. So it's really lovely to be here from writing the funding bid to being sat here now and having Ben with us to be able to talk about his career. So thank you so much for being here. Ben, thank you so
That's
much.
fine.
It's great to have you. You've come up in many discussions that we've had over that time. So we talk a lot about kind of county through the different eras. We've got fans here who'd started coming in the 60s, 70s and all the way through. So obviously the good times where we're at now. And obviously you've, through your 10 year, or nearly 10 years here, must have seen loads of different kind of setting, size, different renovations of the club, all that stuff. So it's just really nice to get a chance to chat to you about your career. So just to start with, just tell us a bit how you started, how you came through academy level and what brought you to county.
Yeah, so I started out at, from 10 years old at Preston North End. I actually played upper level, playing for my brother's Sunday League team, and got scouted sort of 2 or 3 years above. And Preston were going to release me because I was too small, but I was playing with under 14s when I was 10. So it wasn't really fair. I was there sort of 9, 10 years, left when I was sort of 19, but in that time played all the youth team games, went on loan to Kendal Town as a young kid, and then went on to Tranmere Rovers, where I made my league debut in 2007 in League One, and then got a move to Derby the year they got promoted to the Premier League. Unfortunately, that was the worst ever recorded Premier League season, where they got 12 points, so it wasn't ideal. And then obviously went to Oxford United after there, and then sort of dropped out of full-time football, stayed local at Northwich Victoria, and then went on to play for AFC Fylde for over 200 games, which was good with the gaffer. So he was there, he signed me there at Fylde, and then came here and he followed me. So it was good. Yeah, and then sort of from Fylde came here, Conference North, and then obviously in my 10th season here now. So it's been a journey.
Oh, absolutely fantastic, mate. That's really cool. I think going from part time, it was in that kind of National League North. A lot of the guys, the stories come up quite a lot over the last few weeks about you being a part time. Was it?
Yeah.
Were you a lorry driver?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I started doing that when I was at Fylde. Just I had a daughter early when I was younger, so I thought I need to get a real job. So sort of went down that route and did that. Did that for 10 years until obviously the club went back full time.
Wow. So when did you go back to full time then? Was it promotion back to the National League? Was it?
I think it was the year after. So the first season we were in the National League, we were part time under Jim.
Okay.
And then we were playing in the conference, so you get games like Woking away. Yeah. So me and Dave Conlon used to work on the Friday and then get the train down for the overnight trips.
Wow.
So it was me and Dave just trekking around the country for the games and stuff.
Yeah.
But the year after, I think in the January, Mark came in and started putting investment in to develop the club into a full-time structure.
Wow.
So the season after, I think it was the second season in the National League, we went back into full-time football.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So the difference that you will have seen since you first came in.
Yeah.
I was talking to Petch before. Where's Petch at the back of the room, our photographer? Actually did the sign-in picture for Ben. What year was that? Sorry.
10 years ago.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
2016, I think it was, yeah.
I know it's obviously really difficult to look back on that, but would you ever have envisaged being at a club for 10 years and 400 appearances and everything that came with it?
As far as the time frame goes, probably yes.
Yeah.
But the games and the journey the club's been on, I sort of signed here thinking I'll do my best to get the club back into the conference and potentially into League Two football.
Yeah.
And then it's difficult when you're playing because seasons just keep rolling through and games just come thick and fast. So to go on to make over 400 games, you still don't realise, for myself, what an achievement that is. And I speak to people and we say, you probably only realise after 5 or 10 years after retirement when you look back and you go, I actually did all right there. I've done well. So, but from where the club was to now is the change is massive.
Yeah, you just can't believe it, can you? And you look at the sold out match days here now, and like it's just an incredible spectacle.
Yeah, I think when I first came, we were playing away games or we're playing home games, and there's 2,000 or 3,000 fans on. I mean, for Conference North games, that attendance is still incredible.
Yeah.
But to look at where the club's come from to then to now, you struggle to buy a ticket on a Saturday for some of the home games because the following's so good.
Absolutely, and you can obviously see the potential and the growth as well, can't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And
that was one of the things Mark first said when he came in. He said like there's 290,000 people in Stockport, so to take over a club like this, we should be able to fill a stadium 10 times over every Saturday.
Yeah, wow. Do you remember that first meeting with him? Or did
he
he come and see you all? Or how did
we
that
met
work?
him the first time he came in. We met him. I think it was over at a Marriott hotel, just off the 56. I think it's the one. He was there. Simon was there. I think Johnny Vaughan was potentially there as well when they first introduced themselves to us and what the plans were going forward. And sort of from that day, it's kicked on and it's become what it is now. It's incredible.
Yeah, wow. I think you sort of see sort of a set of people like that putting out a vision and a club you've already been at for a number of years.
Yeah.
And to then be sat here and discussing that now and where the club's at is incredible. How's the kind of the dressing room sort of changed, you think, from when you first started to where it's at now in League One?
I think football in general is going a lot younger, which is no good for me. But like everything they're trying to do is we're trying to build a younger model and trying to get players that can progress onto higher levels to make more money back because obviously Mark's put a lot of money in. But the way the game's changed, obviously, when I first started playing, it was get everybody up, stick it in the corner and fight for a ball up there, where now it's gone to more patterns of play and playing out from the back, and that kind of way is obviously it's the Man City with the Pep era, so everybody tries to copy him. If Pep started playing long ball, I'm sure everybody will start playing long ball again. So the game's changed with the intensity. So it used to be, obviously when I was at Derby in the Premier League athlete, they're just athletes, absolute athletes. And then you filter down through the leagues, lads are not as fit, but there's not as much running, whereas everything's sort of stat-based now. So even in the training session we've done this morning, lads have got to hit a certain amount of distance in the running session, otherwise they're topping up at the end.
Really?
So everything's based around stats, iPads, pods in the back of the shirts.
No way.
Just to hit certain numbers, so it's become a much more physical game.
Right, wow. And the staff teams that grow as a result of all that.
Yeah, I think we've got more staff than players, to be fair. We have.
That's incredible. Going back to styles of play and a changing of goalkeepers and the styles of goalkeepers over your time in your career, is it very different from what you were taught at academy level to what you're being asked to do now?
Not really. Obviously, I work with Nick Colgan every day, who's sort of the same sort of era as me, and Nick's had a great career playing at Chelsea and playing the Premier League and playing for Ireland and stuff. So we work very well together. As far as the way the game is, it's different to an aspect where you have to try and play out from the back. I mean, I'm still not a fan of defenders taking goal kicks. I think it's pointless. But the way the teams are set up now about overloads and where you want to play in the pitch and gain territory in certain areas, then it does make sense.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if that answers your question.
Yeah, very much so. But like you say, I think that Pep era, everything changed from when Joe Hart was kind of removed as number one, and how that all moved on. It's just really interesting to see how that kind of resonates, across football, really. Because we've talked about that quite a lot, and we've talked about goalkeeping before, and the changes of play, and how that's all kind of differed to the modern game. It's really interesting. So obviously you're coming up to 10 years, is that right? So is that at the end of this season?
This is my 10th season, at the club.
Right, wow, okay. That obviously incredibly exciting time. Have you got plans going forward? Do you know what you want to do next, or have you
just keep playing?
Fantastic.
I mean, I've spoke to people. I can't see past playing at the minute. I'm one of them people where if I'm in something, I'm all in. So I'll be all in playing until I can't, and then I'll go on to whatever's sort of the next chapter. But as far as it stands, I can't sort of see past playing.
Yeah, fantastic.
After playing football, you go back to lorry driving.
I won't be doing that.
So a couple more things from me. Obviously, I know we met over at Carrington at the end of last season. So this project is funded by the PFA and the Premier League about how we kind of support players to come down to sessions and be involved exactly like this. Why do you think it's important for sort of first teamers to be involved in some of the community programs in this type of way?
I think it's one thing we do really well here as a football club, getting the lads out in the community. I know we go out into schools and it sort of helps sell the players, so we're more like people rather than, I'm not saying we're put on a pedestal, but for the kids and that look up to some of the outfield players and any player, you're sort of an idol to some of them.
Absolutely.
So for us to get out into the community it just makes you sort of see it as they're a normal person. And I'm not saying it's nice to shout abuse at a player, but when they sort of get to know them personally, if they're not doing well on the pitch, it's a good way of sort of going, well, we're all kind of in it together, so we're not trying to be bad, or we're not trying to make mistakes. We want to get promoted as much as everybody else does.
Yeah.
So with it all kind of being one sort of family, if you know what I mean, or one structure going forwards, it's good to build relationships away from the pitch.
Yeah.
So then they see a different side to us.
Yeah, fantastic.
Especially with the PFA, because the PFA are really good.
Absolutely. And the guys have been so supportive of setting this up and, supporting current and ex-players, everything we're doing. But you're quite right, Ben. I think you go around and it's not always the case at every club. I think we do it really well here.
We do it very well
it's
here.
Really good. Really positive. And case in point, we're getting the chance to come and chat to you and then, being sat in here with you. So really appreciate that.
Cool.
What we'll do now, guys, is I'll open up the floor to questions and stuff. And then we'll finish with one final question from me, obviously, that we ask every guest. So do you want to... I'm going to go and pass the mic around. But don't worry, it doesn't amplify. It's just for the video. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll work my way around. So if you have got questions, do you want to start?
Yeah, cheers. Hi. Did you always want to be a keeper, or did you start off as an outfield player?
I actually started off as an outfield player. So again, I went and played a Sunday league game for my brother's team. I just turned up to watch, and he was 2 years older than me. But they didn't have a goalie. The goalie didn't turn up. So he was like, "Does your brother fancy a game in goal?" So I was like, "Yeah, sound. I'll go in." And there was a Preston North End scout there. So I got sort of scouted the first game I played and got stuck there really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scouted first game as a goalkeeper.
And sort of got stuck in goal then after that. Yeah.
Is that fate or luck or whatever?
Probably a little bit of both, I think.
When you first come to county, Ben, did Danny Lloyd sign at the same time?
Yes.
And do you still see Danny?
Now and then, we're sort of from. I live over in Ormskirk and Danny's Formby way, so I don't know, he's at Stockport Football Club at the minute. So obviously Jordan Keane's there and a few of the other boys that I know are there. So I see him now and then. When he's sort of floating around or passing.
I just wondered if you did Pilates or yoga or anything like that as your training.
We do have a yoga instructor come into the training ground now and then, to be fair, we have reformer machines at the training ground as well. Yeah. So every facility we've got is next level and really good. If we ever need anything outsourcing, yoga teachers, or we go to like cryo or stuff like that, the club are really good in giving us everything we need to sort of be the best versions of ourselves we can be. As far as we have stretching routines and everything before games, training sessions, gym stuff, so it's all built in to be strength conditioning and obviously tries to give you the best you can be. Yeah.
For you personally, what's the best bit of belonging to Stockport County?
Good question. I'm sort of careful I answer this. I'm quite a serious person, but I'm also a big kid. So for me, just going in the training ground every day, I was asked this question actually by Joe, the centre half today, and he said, like, what are you still doing? Like, why are you still playing? Like, it's just, I'll sit on a beach somewhere or, and I said, like, having people around the club like Jack Diamond and a few of the younger lads, it sort of keeps you young. So I go into training every day and it's very serious, but it's also the best job in the world. So, I mean, I'm sure every player can sort of say the same thing. As far as being at this club, I want to be here till I finish. So when I came into the football club 10 years ago, I signed as a player and thought, if I do 2 or 3 years, I'll move on. If you can chase a little bit more money, great. If not, then you sort of see where you're at. I've sort of become a fan of this football club now because I've been here so long, and the way the football club is going, I'll finish playing here and then hopefully have a job after, whether it's coaching, whether it's scouting. So I'll sort of be part of this football club until I sit on a beach somewhere and call it a day, I think. It is now, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Oh, fantastic.
Apart from football, what other hobbies do you have? Have you got time for other hobbies?
Can always make time. Golf. I play golf whenever I can. More for the fact that it's a switch off, and you can sort of go away, put your phone in your bag for 4 or 5 hours, not talk to anybody apart from the people you're playing with, not look at any social media, not do anything else, rather than get out in the fresh air, play golf for 4 or 5 hours, and probably get more stressed doing that.
Are you any good?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm not bad.
What's your
Play
handicap?
5.
Very good.
So yeah, I'm okay.
How do you feel when what's your thought process? How you feel when you're facing penalties?
Again, it's like anything that's sort of associated with football now. Everything's stat-based. So we get videos, we get clips through, we get all the stats on previous penalty takers. So you kind of have to go on gut feeling of how you feel on the day, because a penalty taker might go different ways each time. But if you've got a penalty taker that in his last 10 penalties has gone right every time, the law of averages say he's probably going to do the same again. So now, like I say, with everything being recorded all of the time, it kind of gives you a little bit of a heads up, and probably more of an... Yeah.
Hi, this is from my friend who's a massive county fan. Okay. How did it feel to go past 100 clean sheets for county?
Really good.
I'm sure
obviously. Yeah, no, it was good. It's another achievement that I wanted to sort of box off. Yeah, but then again, you don't get too much time to look at it, because you've got another game coming within sort of the week and try and get another one. Yeah.
Ben, we were talking earlier about how the game develops and tactics change. And one of the latest things is the number of players at a corner in the goal area. We had the absurd example of two of arguably the best teams in the world, Arsenal and City, playing on Sunday. At one point, there were 15 players in that goal, not in the penalty area, in the goal area, clearly trying to block the goalkeeper above all else. We call it the beautiful game. Anything less ugly, or more ugly, I haven't come across. From your point of view, how do you cope with that? And also, can you see a situation before too long where they might consider changing the rules? Because from a referee's point of view and a linesman, they can't pick up all the nonsense that's going on. Well, if you can give us your view.
Yeah, they have actually brought a new rule in this year, whereas if a player seems to be holding another player, even if he's not in vicinity of the ball, the referee will give either a penalty or a free kick, which is one of the rule changes this year. As far as I'm concerned, I prefer to I don't mind people being in and around me if the other lads do the jobs, because then they can sort of keep them off you and give you a little bit of room to work in. We have an advantage anyway where we can sort of use our hands, so you should always have a slight advantage. But if you're blocked, I always say that you can be the strongest guy in the world, but if somebody blocks you, you've not got much chance to come and help out. So will it change? Probably not, because a change means it could cost somebody money at the higher up you go. If a referee makes a bad decision, it could cost somebody millions. So I think the way the game is, they've just sort of got to roll with it and do the best they can from a referee's point of view.
Hi, Ben. I think it's fair to say, without embarrassing you, that Stockport County fans absolutely love you and respect you. You are an absolute legend of this football club. And I just wondered what it's like when you come out at the beginning of the game and you line up and then you turn to the Cheadle end and you run to those fans who stand up and applaud you and absolutely love you. They really do.
I appreciate that, thank you.
What's that feeling like?
There's probably no better feeling, to
Yeah.
be fair. It's good to... I appreciate everything the fans have done for me from day one signing at the football club. It's difficult to come into a football club as anybody, rather than being a nobody sort of from non-league. And I think the reason with me coming through the leagues and more fans are sort of coming to the games as sort of I've grown with the football club, which helps. But like I said, from as far as the fans have gone from being supportive of me, I sort of can't thank them enough.
Hi Ben, I just wanted to ask, obviously you're a 3-time title winner here at Stockport County, like the others mentioned, absolute legend here at the club, and we all love you to bits. What's your what do you think out of those 3 title wins, what meant the most to you? Like, what was the most memorable one?
I always say Nuneaton away. Reason being, it's not for the glory side or anything like that, but it was the first sort of step of getting the football club back in the right direction. Conference football is great. Obviously, it's not as good as league football, but to put the club there when they'd been in the Conference North for so long was probably the one I'm sort of most proud of, because, again, it started the journey. Without that, Mark potentially didn't get involved in the football club. So, you know, who knows what the football club could have been at that stage. So, yeah, for me, it was Nuneaton away was the one that stands out more. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Some amazing questions there, guys. That was absolutely brilliant. Give Ben a bit of a round of applause for fielding them. That was amazing. And so just to finish off, there's 2 questions we ask every guest.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's the 90-minute club. So we always ask what your favourite ever 90 minutes were. It may just be the answer to Matty's question,
probably,
but equally.
Yeah, probably Nuneaton.
Yeah.
Being one of them, or Salford at home before when we got to Wembley.
Yeah.
Obviously, I saved a couple of penalties and stuff, so it sort of
fantastic.
stays in the memory, that one. But Nuneaton away, I think, because again, it was a game going there to win the league, and we wrapped it up pretty early. And the fact that, you know, as a football club, we sold out an away ground, and they didn't really have any supporters in there.
Yes.
It was a party atmosphere from minute 1, so we didn't really have a choice but to win.
Yeah, incredible. And then just to finish, Ben, ask every guest, if you describe County in 3 words, what would that be? To put you right on the spot.
Cheers. Give me this before.
Anytime.
Describe County in 3 words. It's 4.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Caught me out here.
Yeah. Really difficult one.
Driven from everybody associated with the football club. I think if you come here and you're not driven, you'll soon be out the door.
Yeah.
And the 3rd word, probably family.
Yeah.
Probably family, yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely, mate. And it's always really difficult to get that one out of the blue.
It's when you don't get a heads up on
it
it.
perfectly. Yeah, it's great. One massive round of applause for Ben.
Thanks, guys.
That was absolutely fantastic.